Starfighters, welcome to Mad Science Films. I'm GBP, filmmaker and sexual astronaut, and as ever, I'm joined by my illustrious co-host.
Jason Morrissey, one half of the Mad Science Films team. So, guys, don't forget, if you do like this video, then please hit the like button. If you've been enjoying the Mad Science Films content and want to subscribe to our channel, I can follow us on Facebook. Any comments, leave those down below. Let's crack on with the show.
Boom. Also, guys, please check out our fourth feature film for free on YouTube. Just search for Little Monster or click on the link in the show notes below. This week, we're campaigning for Forgotten Masterpiece of Genre Cinema to be given the beautiful Blu Ray treatment. Some of those words in some sort of order. This week is my choice. It's been a while since we've done one of these, and I've gone for 1984's Impulse, directed by Graham Baker. Okay, ready for a synopsis, Jim? After a small earthquake in a tiny, quiet town, local citizens start to exhibit bizarre, violent, and self-destructive behavior. Yeah. Pretty much sums it up well. So, Jim, Impulse, first time watch?
First time watch. I friggin' love this film.
I know, right?
It is such a good film, and what it does is it hooks you straight in. It doesn't give you any answers just yet, just mad stuff happening, and I love that. I love that because I just love the mystery behind it, and it's so unpredictable. It's so like, what is this imagery? What is this? What's going on in this movie? And because on the, I guess. It is an 80s horror about spoilers, chemical spill, making people go crazy. So on paper, you could argue this has been done many times before. So that's why I think the way they've approached this film is so cool, because you don't feel like you're watching another kind of 80s chemical spill horror film or thriller.
I agree totally. I think obviously there's probably going to be a similar film that we may both recommend. But for me, this is like a low-key, slow motion version of that, and I mean that in a good way. Good call.
It gives me real good vibes and like a Stephen King tone to this film.
It's the small town America, isn't it?
Yeah, small town America, definitely, and mad shit's happening, and I love that. So I was really engrossed into the film. I loved Tim Matthews. I loved John. Is it Kendall? What's his name? John, the dad, basically. Bill Paxton as well.
Early Bill Paxton as well, man.
I love that family dynamic. There's a lot of this unsaid tension and, all that kind of mad shit. And then obviously it develops that Bill Paxton's been a bit of a naughty boy. And of course, Stewart's coming into this mix as well, like this, big time like surgeon from the city. I just loved it. Yeah, great characters. Everybody did a great job. The act, some of the bit parts, like the doctor. I love the doctor. Is it Dr. Carl?
Yeah.
He was one of the I forgot the actor's name though, Peyton.
But he was in Cocoon, wasn't he?
Cocoon, yes. Cocoon, yes. Love Cocoon. But I love that scene where Jennifer's mum's unsuccessfully tried to kill herself, so she's in the hospital and she's got this big fucking tube coming out of her mouth. And of course this film's about impulse, okay? And you see the doctor just standing in the corner, and he's kind of squeezing this tube and getting a kick out of it. It was just really dark, like sinister moments in the film. I just loved it, mate. So much fun, so much going on. Yeah, brilliant.
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. I'd never even heard of it until a couple of months ago. It turned up on my random algorithms of obscure films thanks to YouTube. I watched it and I was just like, holy shit, why is this not talked about more? It's a perfect setup, you get that small time America vibe. You just get and it's so low key, there's an earthquake, but nobody's killed in the earthquake. Some glass breaks and everything, and all the townsfolk who all know each other kind of walk out and go, what the hell? And then we jump to see it's Meg Tilly, isn't it? Always mix them up. Meg Tilly. Meg Tilly is a ballerina in New York, and she gets a phone call, and her mum starts just, berating her down the phone. And it's like, what? And then her mum kills herself, and well, tries to kill herself, and she hears it down the phone. And then gradually things just, they go back to the small town, and it's little cutaways, and sometimes it's just an odd look, and sometimes it's just moments of tension and suspense between the characters, and then other times you'll just cut away to something, and our main characters will be sitting around doing something, and you'll see old men playing like little kids, kicking around a can, and you're like, that's a bit weird but amusing. And then there's the old dude peeing up against his car.
The car,
what? And it's that outsider thing, because Tim Matheson is like an outsider to the town. He's just like, what is this? Because he's not part of the town. And because, his partner left the town a long time ago, and she's obviously somewhat traumatized by what her mum has done. It's this sense of unease, but there's nothing outright disturbing happening for about the first half an hour. It's just weird little things. You see, one of the weirdest bits for me is like the old lady licking the arm wrestlers' hands while they're arm wrestling in a bar. And again, it's just,
well, and you've got,
and cuts away.
Yeah, and then you've got the clip of the she the friend of Jennifer, who she's meeting at the bar, says hello to some people at the bar, and I don't know if you picked up on it, but they're like, oh yeah, I'm just here with my brother and my sister.
And
right? And then you cut to the brother and the sister just basically having it off with one, and you're like,
publicly,
and it's only for a few seconds, you're like, oh my God.
Yeah, and you kind of think, I mean, if you're us, you kind of think, oh, maybe that's small town America.
But exactly. You're right. It's definitely those small little things that are a bit kind of like, well, it's a bit odd, and then it just slowly escalates and grows. It's almost like, it's kind of like an avalanche, isn't it?
I mean, absolutely. The bit at the bar where she meets up with her friend, and she says, "Oh, I left him dead on the floor," and I should have done. And then you're like, is she joking? And then later with the same character, there's a suggestion that she broke the kid's arm, and then it's like, ooh, child endangerment. And then the kids themselves are absolute little shit. And you're right, mate. People lose their inhibitions, isn't it? And that's the key part. And it's almost to the dot 30 minutes in that it then turns sinister when the cops are chasing those two kids. Who knows what they actually? They chase the two kids. And is it like an M16 or something? He pulls out,
goes for it,
and he shoots the kid in the back. And the townsfolk are pissed off because of the broken glass.
Yes, I was going to say that. Yeah,
and there's 30 minutes in, and you're like, right, okay, here we go. And from that point on, it's a case again of who's crazy, who's not crazy. How crazy are they? Are they dangerous? Are they not? I love the reveal of how it happens. And I don't think we need to get into it, but it's perfect. And then it makes you remember a scene very early on at the dinner table where they're arguing about what they're eating and what they're drinking, and you kind of go, right. And it's right at the end. It's right at the end, because up until that point, you kind of go, is Meg Tilly crazy, or is she just still suffering from grief? What's that? And so you've got that tension. And I don't know how you felt, mate, but I was genuinely upset when Tim Matheson's character's kind of working late at the doctor's office or whatever. And
I felt really let down.
you see exactly. You see the turn, and then of course they go back to the house, and then there's the public sex in front of the dad, and then obviously what happens to Bill Paxton, Meg Tilly's brother, and you're like, damn it, I was following these guys, and now it's just Meg Tilly. And is Meg Tilly okay? And how long will she be okay for?
Kind of like Invasion of the Body Snatchers, where Donald Sutherland changes at the end.
Exactly.
It's kind of like that, but not as
I mean, again, hey, there are fan theories that say Donald Sutherland actually was human, and he was just doing what it took to survive at the end, which was eliminate other humans. I mean, that that might be a stretch or whatever, but
I the way this film was shot was really cool as well. It's a really good looking film, and I love some of the cuts and some of the choice of shot, like the bit where Tim is or Stuart is getting. You could see that impulse is taking over when he's letting out the office, and that young girl is in the waiting area.
She just
And I
takes her
just that
gum out and puts it under the
that
sink.
whole sequence, mate. The way there's a numerous ways they could have shot that, but the way they did it was very classy and very very cool.
So
Very well
uncomfortable at the
done.
same time, mate. And I was just
But
like,
that was the beauty of it.
oh,
You don't actually, all you're hearing is zips,
yeah,
chewing gum. Do you know what I mean?
looking up and
It's so
yeah.
well done. It's so well done. But yeah,
Yeah.
really, really enjoyed it. Good
And
stuff.
and for me, there was a cameo by John Carpenter regular Peter Jason at the end as the army man, and I loved that because that was its own little thing. At first, you just see this van, and it's in the background, and then the film starts to kind of favor the van, and you just see the van driving away after certain things. And that to me was again a perfect ending for the film as well. And reminded me of another one of my recommendations, which I'll get to as well. Yeah, so well directed. So Graham Baker, like not a massive name, but when I was checking through his filmography, he did do my favorite Omen film, which is Omen 3: The Final Conflict, with Sam Neill as the president.
Sam Neill,
Christ. So yeah, big fan of that one. And he also directed the original movie version of Alien Nation. Do you remember that?
Oh, good film. Yeah, good film. Yeah.
So he's done some straight up classics. So I honestly can't think why this isn't better known, why there isn't a, cult classic around this film. 80s horror films with properly weird, disturbing, off-key performances.
Oh, mate,
It absolutely baffles me. Whether there's rights issues or what, I don't know. But yeah, this absolutely needs a boutique Blu Ray treatment. And this is why I love doing this show, is discovering these hidden gems and going, especially to you, mate, Jim, check this out.
But what I really appreciate is you said to me, don't read up on it, don't look into it, just watch it. And I think that was the best way about it.
That was it. I mean, and I'll throw the poster up here. And the poster just looks like an erotic thriller type.
He's good, very much.
I went into it blind, and then best way, absolutely.
It was so good.
Probably we should put spoiler warnings at the beginning of this, but if you guys have seen it, I appreciate it. Yeah. So Jim, we both love this film. Which boutique Blu-ray label do you think should be putting this?
Every fucker that's into 80s horror, Synapse, 88 Films, do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I think anybody that's serious about bringing to life 80s horror, 80s thriller, do you know what I mean? But yeah, definitely the likes of 88 Films, 101, maybe 101 Films, I don't know, Synapse Films. Cool, yeah.
I don't care who does it, but I would really like them to get the surviving filmmakers and actors and interview them, because this was a blind spot for me, mate.
It's such a good find, Jim. It's such a good film. I don't know how this is not come to light. I mean, to be honest,
Tim Matheson and Meg Tilly were massive actors in the 80s and 90s. Bill Paxton obviously went on to bigger things. It's got these great character actors through it. Like half the cast,
really good cast,
up in there as well, don't they? Yeah. Like the old lady who's in Cocoon, she does a bit of shoplifting in the bank robbery as well. So for me, this is one that needs a great, beautiful release.
And somebody who could really restore it. It's, like I said, it's such a really well shot film, such a really good looking film. So awesome.
So guys, you've sat down, you've watched Impulse. What film are you going to follow it up with? Jim, can I use my psychic powers? 1 second. Is one of your recommendations going to be George Romero's The Crazies?
It's on the top of the list.
Yes, it's got to be.
It's an obvious one. It has all the same feels, done differently, but still a good, solid film. So keeping in the theme of people going crazy. The Crazies. Definitely go check that out.
Do you know what? And I'm not saying one's better than the other, But what I like about the difference is going back
Mm.
to what I said at the beginning, it's kind of the slow motion version of it. So the Crazies is very much they go crazy, whereas this one is it's losing their inhibitions and getting away with it, and then they enjoy it. Like you're saying about the Doctor, you know, it's the one thing the Doctor should not do is cause harm. And he just enjoys squeezing that pipe. So yeah, I mean, I love the Crazies. I love the original. I don't like the remake. Because in the remake they lose the main thing. In the remake, they get all zombied up and they look weird, so you can tell who's crazy and who's not. And I think the power of the Impulse and the power of the Crazies is you don't know who's
you don't know who's gonna exactly.
And you know, I think the one trick that Impulse misses, apart from at the very end, is the army trying to regulate their version of sanity into an insane town, whereas, you know, military, you know, occupation of an American small town, that is insanity in itself. So yeah, fantastic. Yeah, totally agree. Crazies. What other recommendations do we have?
Also on for The Mouth of Madness, John Carpenter's Sam Neill. I just like some very unsettling and nerding kind of scenes, the way it plays out. There's a real cool scene where they're sitting down in this cafe having a chat, and just from the outside, just this guy walking towards very slowly, very well shot, coming in with an axe and just starts. It's just mentalness. And some unsettling scenes in that, which kind of, so if you like that with this film, you're going to like it in that film. And the last one for me, last one for me, good fun. This is kind of same in the sense that people are eating this thing, the stuff. So you're eating the stuff and it makes you go a bit loopy. And that, again, what Jim was saying just now about the paranoia, who's eating the stuff, is it affecting them? Yeah, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, go check out the stuff.
Always got time for this stuff, dude. Yeah, I love
good film.
Again, that's like a kid's film, but that messed me up as a kid. So yeah, good call. So continuing the theme of old people going a bit kooky, we mentioned it earlier in the show. Cocoon. I mean, half the cast.
Yeah, I loved it. Great film.
Yeah,
1 and 2.
And you know what's happening? Why are they acting this way? Very different reasons, but still, yeah. And then going back to the end, the downer ending, and the whole kind of military cover-up aspect of it. The original Return of the Living Dead, I feel, is a very similar arc story-wise. And just good time, man.
Good fun.
For me, any excuse to recommend Return of the Living Dead. And yeah, a kind of bonus recommendation. I mentioned it before, but Omen 3 for just great work again by the director Graham Baker. Be a director who's you know better spoken of, really. Just for those 3 films, if nothing else. So cool. All right,
solid film.
So, have you seen Impulse? If not, why
you
not?
should go watch it, people.
Go find it. Go find it right now. If you guys have seen Impulse, what films would you recommend that we check out with it? And also, are there any other films out there that you think are deserving of the beautiful Blu Ray treatment? And Jim, what else can these peeps do?
So guys, if you like this video, then please hit the like button. If you've been enjoying the Mad Science Films content and want to subscribe to our channel, and come follow us on Facebook. Any comments, leave those in the comment section down below. Thank you. Goodbye. Hey.